Look, life's chaotic. You're juggling kids, travel, meetings, and maybe a mild existential crisis, but movement, that shouldn't be the first thing to go. What's going on, team? Ben here, CrossFit coach and personal trainer, and today I've got my top 5 resistance band exercises that you can do anywhere. So whether you are in the gym, in a garage, in a hotel room, out in a playground, if you've got a resistance band, these are great ways to get in shape, work your muscles, and have fun while you do it. Alright guys, resistance bands, they do come in various different thicknesses, which is going to change the resistance. If you can only get your hands on one, I'd get one about an inch thick, which you could still do all of these movements with. You just sometimes have to modify slightly how you would do it. Okay, exercise number 1 is the resistance band squat. So this movement is great to load up what would otherwise be a bodyweight squat if you didn't have any equipment. So you can chuck the resistance band underneath your feet, loop it over the top of your shoulders, hold it like you would a backpack, and then you can squat. You can do various different variations of this. So you can hold the band in the front of the shoulders, you can throw it over the neck, more of a back squat feel, or you can extend your arms all the way to the top, giving you an overhead squat position. So you can also work a little bit on that shoulder mobility. All right, exercise number 2 with the resistance band is going to be the face pull. So if you're doing this one in the gym, you can obviously loop your resistance band around a pull-up bar, stand with it at a slight bit of resistance, keep your elbows nice and high, drawing them back, pulling that band right up into your face, giving you... All right guys, exercise number 3 is going to be the bent over row. So this is a great way to get a little bit of a pump in the back. If you don't have any weights or can't do pull-ups, this is a great way to work a little bit on your back strength. So the way I like to do this is actually to lay the band directly on the floor, place your feet over top of the band, grab the band in the middle, keeping that bent over position, then you're going to pull the band up into your belly button. Alright, exercise number 4 with these lovely bands is the deadlift. So using that same setup position as the row, this time instead of rowing, you're going to do a deadlift. So starting in that bent over position, grab your band, and then you're going to drive through the hips using those hamstrings and glutes. All right, exercise number 5 is the banded lat pull down. Once again, if you're at the gym, you can throw it through a pull-up bar. If you are doing this at home or on a playground or in a hotel room, what you can do is just tie a little knot in one end of your resistance band, lock it into a door frame, and then go from there. The way you perform the lat pull down is obviously in a kneeling position, directly underneath the band. Grab the band at a full arm extension, so sometimes you might need to loop the band up a little bit. With the lat pull down, great way to build that pulling strength, that vertical pulling strength, so you can mimic the pull-up position. All right, if you've hung around this long, here are 3 bonus exercises for you to get a bit more of a pump if you're using your resistance bands. So exercise number 1 will be the bicep curl. So with this one, you're gonna chuck one loop underneath your feet, scrunch the band up into your hands down by your sides, and then drawing up through your bicep curl. Okay, bonus exercise number 2 is going to be the tricep extension. So you've got 2 setups for this. You can either set this up over a pull-up bar, classic cable tricep pushdown style, or you can do a standing overhead tricep extension. All right, and your final bonus exercise is the banded lateral raise. So chucking one loop underneath your feet, similar to the bicep curl. Holding the band, you're gonna go through either a front or a side raise with your band. Great way to get a little bit of shoulder strength. All right guys, if you've enjoyed these exercises, follow along for more. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. You can find all of my online programming at anchorfitnessnz.com. You can also find me at Anchor Fitness NZ on Instagram and Facebook. All right guys, get your bands out, have fun, and we'll see you in the next video.